Because, okay, obviously I'm not for mass shootings. I think that's little dick energy. You know, I am about some revenge though. And that's what I need here. I need the narrative because I need to know what led up to this. I need to know who died. Was there a specific reason that specific people died?
Do you think for PR purposes they don't necessarily want to talk about that though? Like, because he might have had a point. Not saying that you should do that, but he might have been halfway right. You know, where it was like they were fucking him over.
Or he left some shit, and these banking motherfuckers got to it before everybody else did. It was like destroy that shit. Go in there and burn all his hard drive. I want the biggest magnet we can find on top of this nigga's house. I want every hard drive empty. Yeah, you know that because you know they got it. I ain't never seen a banker go to prison. Have you?
Right as we go to record.
And we're back. Episode 58, BS with Brian Simpson. Welcome back, everybody. We have a special guest today. One of our good friends, one of the funniest comics I know, Thai Rivera. Everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, and we'll be reacting to a lot of this. We got a lot of hot takes here. You want to get to the... Wait a minute, what is the elephant in the room today?
A Louisville shooter.
What happened with the Louisville shooter?
I mean, he shot up a bunch of people. That's the most recent thing.
Is this the trans person?
No. This is
that was Nashville.
That was Nashville.
Oh,
this is Connor Sturgeon.
This is a different place in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Nashville's in Tennessee.
So all my shit is okay. Louisville is Kentucky.
Yes.
Okay, and also in Nashville is where they voted. They tried to vote out the black representatives for protesting gun laws or whatever.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so what happened with the Louisville shirt? I didn't hear about this.
And it's Louisville. They say it like retards.
Like Louisville?
Louisville.
It's Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah. It's like, that's how they know if you're not from there. If you can pronounce it correct. Okay, so what did he shoot up?
A bank.
Oh, well, I'm kind of for that. I mean, I don't want the people that work at the bank to be, but if you're going to shoot up a place.
Sure.
A bank is the place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer if you go down to the headquarters,
He was an employee of the bank.
Oh, he was an employee at that bank, that branch?
I don't know if he was at that bench. He was at that branch. I think he was. I'm looking at an article right now.
Did he drop the manifesto?
I don't think he had a manifesto.
See,
I think
man,
he's
disgruntled. Listen, you fucking shooters out there. Write a man. Look, if you're gonna go through all this and put the country through all this, write a manifesto.
I'm a procrastinator, though. So I'm the kind of person that I would intend to write the manifesto, and then at last minute I'd just be like, you know what? I'm just going to shoot everybody.
At least give us an audio.
No, I don't want to do anything. I want people to wonder why I did it. Because the thing that would happen with me is I'd go ahead and shoot a video, and then I'd have trouble uploading it last minute.
Or the key part, the audio's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So he live streamed it.
Oh, you know what? The guy that shot up that grocery store in, I want to say Baltimore. No, it wasn't Baltimore.
El Paso.
No, it wasn't El Paso. He went to a black neighborhood and shot up the grocery store. Like maybe
Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo, New York. Yeah, he live streamed it too. He live streamed his way there.
What were the views like?
Well, that's a good question. Who was watching this live? He has followers?
Yeah, because, I don't have a lot of followers, but I have a decent amount of followers. And if I go live, I'm getting 2 or 3 people watching. Oh, yeah. So I don't know who they're doing this
But if you go live and say you about to kill somebody, people going to tune in. Like if you get in the car, you load up the gun, you driving, people going to start spreading the word. Word of mouth is still the most powerful promotion.
That's true.
Yeah. And, man, I don't know if I could watch it. I don't know if I could. Pure evil, man kills 10. Oh, that's the Buffalo thing.
That's the Buffalo thing. This is the Louisville shooter. Family of Louisville shooter said he had, quote, mental health challenges.
No.
But no warning signs of shocking mass shooting.
Here's the other thing, guys. And I know people want... I know my lefty friends want to ban guns. Like that's the solution to them. But that's not a viable solution. That's something that's lit. We are so politically far away from that. But I think something that both sides can agree on is mental health shit. Why isn't mental health shit should be free out this motherfucker? Because especially now with the economy and everything, everybody that's depending on how far away you are from cracking or snapping, the broke. I don't know about you, but I get crazier when I'm broke.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I check my balance and it's negative, it's like that's when I'm the most dangerous.
Yeah, but right now it seems like a lot of people on the left don't want to accept that there's a lot of mental illness going on that side. Like if you go on TikTok and you look at the super liberal, that's mental illness. It's just as bad as when people on the right think like the entire government is out to get them, except for it's just, the people on the left think it's the other citizens that are out to get them, or the right that's out to get them. And in a lot of cases, it's like nobody's really thinking about you this much.
But then here's my response. Okay, so say they take $1 billion out the military budget and they put it towards mental health care. What does that actually mean? Because do we want? Because obviously the big pharma would be on board. Do we want a bunch of medicated people with mental health issues? Because you know what I'm saying? Do we want people on a bunch of shit that could also tip them over there? I guess that's better than doing nothing, right?
On a bunch of shit. What do you mean?
Because a lot of people get misdiagnosed. They're mismedicated. They're on shit that's these powerful psychoactives that, as soon as they can't afford it no more, they fucking lose their goddamn minds. Because I guess we have to have a consistent whole national. Because this is the problem, right? Is I think the problem with our current system is that when the solution costs money but it don't make no money, it's impossible.
I think it's also a distinction between. It's like when it rains for the first time in a couple of months, and like you're like, oh, I have a fucking hole in my roof, and you get somebody to come out to patch it, and they're like, by the way, this shit all needs to be replaced. And you're like, well, I don't have the money to replace the entire fucking roof, so can you patch it? And they're like, yeah, I can, but it ain't gonna.
But that's the thing, right?
Not gonna keep you dry.
We do have the. I started doing this on stage to some degree, but it was like, I just want, because we're probably the second richest country in the world. Right, compared to like Saudi Arabia, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like we live in the richest country. You know what I mean? Like they got ATMs where you could get a gold bar out of it. You know what I mean? And when they fly planes over and they make it rain.
Well, but we're like Saudi Arabia in that we're not a rich country. We're a poor country with some rich motherfuckers in it.
No, because every Saudi Arabian citizen get a piece of that. They don't get most of it, but every Saudi citizen get a piece of that oil money. There's no homeless people in Saudi Arabia. There are 0 homeless people in Saudi Arabia.
But also when it comes to mental illness, what a lot of people forget is that people that are mentally ill, and I know this for a fact because I have so many friends that struggle with mental illness, once they start taking their meds and they're, say they're given exactly what they need, it's the correct, they're on the correct medications, they start to feel like they're okay, not realizing that's the medication. They think now they're fixed, and then they stop taking their meds again. And this happens a lot. It turns into a cycle.
Like antibiotics. And people go,
yeah,
I feel better, so I'm going to stop taking these.
You got to do the whole cycle, man. You got to do the whole cycle.
Yeah, I get it. You're right, and maybe that's a whole other problem that we'll have on our hands. But I think it's worth a shot.
Well, I think it's also, we use a term like mental health or mental illness, and there are so many things underneath that umbrella. We're really talking about different things. When somebody is depressed because they're in poverty, and then they commit crimes because of that, that's a form of mental illness, but that's very different from somebody who is schizophrenic and needs to be on like antipsychotic medication, for instance.
Right.
But we just put that underneath the umbrella of mental health or mental illness. And so the question is, like, with this Louisville guy, there's no evidence I've seen that he's like schizophrenic, like some of the people you see out on 6th Street. Like he's hearing voices, or he thinks the devil's telling him to shoot up the bank.
What are his specific mental? First of all, wait a minute. Who did he kill? Was it just random people, or did he kill his supervisor?
I think he was shooting more than just the people that he worked with. It says 6 people dead, including Sturgeon. One person.
He killed himself?
He killed himself.
Okay.
No. He got shot. He got shot by the cops. One of the cops killed him.
Okay.
But they had in here like what prompted it. It says in March 2022, Sturgeon participated in Focus Louisville, a 2.5-day community development program for working professionals run by the Leadership Louisville Center, according to his LinkedIn account.
So he just did ayahuasca with a bunch of bankers. Yeah, that make me kill somebody too. Okay. So what happened? So
So then he said he posted about the experience, calling it an eye-opening experience about many of the issues around Louisville and the people who are working to solve them. Whatever the fuck that means.
Okay.
So I don't know why he did it. That's like you said. Like you need to, if you're going to commit suicide, leave a note. If you're going to like do a shooting, give us a manifesto.
All right.
Or a mixtape or something.
Or at least like give us a back door into the banking. Like he didn't do anything to the bank. They probably open today. They got a sign out front that's like, it's going to be a little bit of blood on the cash.
They're like, but that's kind of always. Never mind, business as usual.
Like, you might have put in your PIN number twice because the keys are sticky. Okay, yeah, because it's hard to know whether obviously I'm not for mass shootings. I think that's little dick energy. Uh-huh. I am about some revenge though. And that's what I need here. I need the narrative because I need to know what led up to this. I need to know who died. Was there a specific reason that specific people died?
Do you think for PR purposes they don't necessarily want to talk about that though? Like, because he might have had a point. Not saying that you should do that, but he might have been halfway right. You know, where it was like they were fucking him over.
Or he left some shit, and these banking motherfuckers got to it before everybody else did. It was like destroy that shit. Go in there and burn all his hard drive. I want the biggest magnet we could find on top of this nigga's house. I want every hard drive empty. Yeah, you know that because they got it. I ain't never seen a banker go to prison. Have you? Mm-mm. They got to be connected at the very, 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 very top. The Federal Reserve is not. That's just a bank. That's not part of the federal government. It's just bankers run this whole motherfucker.
Yeah.
So if he did write a manifesto that was a little too revealing, that shit ain't never coming out. Even the CIA probably don't have access to that motherfucker.
Well, Brian, apparently he had difficulty fitting in.
Yeah? Let me see a picture of this guy. Is that him? Wow.
No. That'd be amazing.
It's a doctor.
Here he is.
Wow.
That's like a dorky, skinny white kid.
Well, those are night and day pictures. Dorky, skinny, white kid. Yeah, he seems like he got him. I'm always shocked at the people that are like, I wasn't getting laid or I couldn't fit in. It's like, but it's probably because of your shitty opinions.
Yeah, because he's a decent-looking guy. I mean, just to look at him, in both pictures, he's okay. He's normal, It's not like he looks, like there's a deformity or some kind of...
Yeah, I mean, but usually, you know what it is, a lot of times, if you are decent-looking and you have trouble fitting in or getting dates or, that kind of thing, or making friends, you either have like some kind of undiagnosed autism, or you have a hygiene problem, or you have shitty opinions. Like you weren't socialized as a child, and you have all your dad and mom's shitty opinions that like kept you sheltered in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
the only time. Those are the only reasons I ever see that people have trouble fitting in. Is that they were sheltered, and they don't know how to interact with people. They have bad hygiene, or they have or they're on the spectrum in some way that they are not aware of.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that their family doesn't want to tell them that they notice that there's probably some mental illness there, and I can't invite them to parties because I know that they're going to start an argument with someone. It's like I know they're always going to, and they do happen to be right-leaning people. And so, that's really not popular at a lot of parties if you're going to start talking about Trump and how you think, the election.
But that's the thing is like, listen, if you start talking about politics at a party, you don't deserve to be at the party.
I agree. That's why I don't invite him anywhere. That's why because I've just settled on, I just can't invite him.
Remember when we came up, everybody just knew that. It was like your parents would say, hey, don't fucking talk about that.
Religion and politics.
Religion and politics. People did not talk about, or problems. You didn't talk about religion and politics, you didn't bring up your problems. You talk shit about other family members that aren't there. Mm-hmm. You talk about their problems. Mm-hmm. But it was like, and now people just, they can't not do it. Because now it's like the culture is, I'm going to tell the whole world my problems.
Right.
It's like, so now you can't even get people to shut the fuck up about stuff. It's like,
why do you think that is?
I think it's just a generational thing. Shutting the fuck up and minding your business are skills, and they're not encouraged anymore. Mind your fucking business, because we tell people, this is the if you see something, say something generation. But it also is like, even if you don't see something, say something.
And everything is valid now.
Right. Everyone has the same megaphone. Mm-hmm.
But remember, you used to be able to tell people that they were stupid. Now that's not allowed.
Yeah, because then they can turn around and tell 10,000 people that you hurt their feelings.
Yeah. But you did used to be able to tell people. Like, I remember all the time when I was younger, I'd get told not to talk about things, and it was like for my own good in a lot of cases. It was like, oh, yeah, I guess maybe that makes sense that I wouldn't want to talk about that right now.
Yeah, and then there's some people that are like completely beyond reproach. Like, you can't criticize them at all.
Like who?
Trans women. Just turn it into a whole different.
Yeah. Or like if they have a big fan base, like if you say
Taylor Swift.
If you say some shit about Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Cardi B, people coming for you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just gonna be harassment mostly.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be nonstop and forever. You know what I mean?
And also, it's going to be visited on people who are. It's hilarious to me when there's like just a civilian that gets caught up in it, somebody with 200 followers on Twitter or whatever, and it's like, if you're not a celebrity, to just have people dropping into your DMs constantly saying, "Kill yourself, you're a piece of shit," like that is. Awful.
Oh, yeah. I've been dealing with a lot of that on TikTok lately because I finally decided to check out TikTok, and I was like, let me see what everything's about. And I have some opinions on non-binary, and so many people love to tell me what they think, but they don't realize I've been on social media too long to care about their opinions, but they really will say the worst things in the world to you, and you're expected to just take it. And then there's other people that pile on too, and it turns into just a bunch of people telling you that. And like I said, because I've been doing this a long time, for me, it's not a problem. But sometimes I think about that. I'm like, the average person would crack under what I'm getting right now. And I don't even have that many followers on TikTok. I'm new on it.
I think it speaks to the whole shooter thing where it's like, because I think that is a symptom of the fact that social media is power being given to people that don't have any other power.
Right.
And so being mean online or being, or it's because everyone's looking for an excuse to be their worst self because being bad is fun,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so it's like, if once we decide that it's okay to be evil to you because of your whatever, then I get to exercise that. And so go back to the shooter thing, is like, because we always go, mental health, or okay, say he didn't kill anyone, say he just killed himself.
Okay.
Right? We go, a lot of times they blame the person that killed themselves or whatever, but we never think about what environment is this person in where the only power they feel like they had was life and death, right? Where it's like, what were the circumstances this motherfucker was living under where he felt like, I feel so powerless, the only power I have is this fucking whatever gun he used,
right,
and I'm gonna fucking use it. It's kind of like, let me give another example. It's like the guy that, the nice guy at the office, and then you find out he beats his wife and children. Mm-hmm. It's because, and it's like he feels powerless at work, but at home he's fucking King Kong.
Why do we always have to talk about police, Brian?
Well, Yeah, I mean, it's police, CEOs, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm always shocked at the people that beat their wives. I'm always shocked at people that are like, they don't feel bad about it. You know?
Oh.
I'm surprised there's still people beating their wives, and I'm surprised wives are still sticking around for it. Because in generations past, you could understand why it was because women didn't have a lot of options.
Right.
But now it's not like that anymore. So I don't really know why people stay in those situations.
It used to be if you were a woman, you couldn't, especially if you were a divorced woman, you couldn't get a bank loan, you couldn't get a mortgage, you couldn't get a credit card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it made sense. Like you needed that.
And if you had kids, you were double screwed.
Right.
And you had to stay.
Yeah, because here's what I always tell people. 99% of the time, when a motherfucker exhibits negative behaviors
Yeah.
later on in a relationship, you saw signs of it right from the jump.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Especially, and here's the key one. Most of these motherfuckers will warn you about themselves. Every crazy bitch I've ever dealt with has been like, you shouldn't fuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it always happens, but 90% of the time, they like, hey man, I'll fucking ruin you. You shouldn't fuck with me. And I go, come on, you just ain't had this loving. You know, you ain't had this brand of loving. You know, and it's like, and they were right. They were telling the truth. And then later on, I go, this bitch just started acting crazy. No, she didn't. She was crazy right from the jump. I saw little signs of it. I saw little glimpses of it. Because everyone comes in wearing this mask, you know, and then every now and then the mask will slip, and you'll be like, what? Did I just see like burnt Darth Vader under there? No, I didn't. You know?
I think men who stay in, because that's a form of abuse too, when people emotionally abuse you like that or whatever. But I think a lot of men, when they're in those relationships, they convince themselves that they are strong enough to like, man, fuck it, like I can handle this woman, right? I can handle her.
Right.
She's just never been with a fucking alpha or whatever the fuck they think, right? Women are more likely to think, I can fix him. I can change him for the better.
Yeah.
Right? They know he's a mess, or they know he's a problem, but they think that they can fix him.
Yeah. They're like, if I just stay with him till he get to the league. If I could just stay with this nigga till he gets to the league. It's about to get hot outside, dudes, which means your dick and your balls will soon be a sweaty mess where everything sticks together. Enter Sheath Underwear. It has 2 pouches, one for your dick, one for your balls. It keeps things separated so your crown jewels can get some airflow down there. Sheath Underwear comes in tons of cool patterns to help you look good and feel comfortable. Now, I personally use Sheath Underwear. I've told you a million times, I've replaced all my underwear with Sheath Underwear. This is one of those things that, you know, once you do it, you can't go back to the other way. Once your balls have a pouch, it's impossible to I don't want no other way, you know?
Do you use both pouches?
I don't use the dick pouch.
I just use the ball pouch.
Yeah, I use the ball pouch. But I like that the dick pouch is there. I might want to stow it away for some reason. You know what I mean? Somebody might walk in like, yo, where's the dick? I'm like, I don't know. Search me. I don't know. For once in your life, enjoy springtime without your dick stuck to your leg. For our ladies in the audience, check out Sheath sports bras, bikini briefs, and boy shorts. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use code BS to get 20% off your first order. Plus, Sheath Underwear's 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code BS. Get Sheath Underwear, support the show, support your balls. Can you imagine being, what's his name's wife? Remember what was the running back, Ray Rice?
Oh, yeah.
She went through all that. Got her ass beat publicly. Married him afterwards. And now he's not even in the league no more.
She was the elevator one, right?
Yup. And the NFL, still, they get. I don't know how they get away with it so often, but they pretended because they saw that tape way before the rest of us did.
Yeah.
And they suspended him for, I think, 4 games. And then TMZ got a hold of the motherfucker and it went public. And then they suspended him for life.
Right.
So they try to act like, and then they try to act like, oh damn, we didn't know it was this bad. Yes, they did. They knew right away. Just like with the damn Michael Irvin thing, right? people have real strong opinions about it. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He was in, I want to say Florida for the Super Bowl. And at the hotel he was staying at.
Oh, that was in Arizona, right?
Was it Arizona?
Yeah,
it was
Arizona
just-
Marriott.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was in Arizona for the Super Bowl, right? Okay, yeah, and he was accused of, I think they didn't say exactly what the accusation was. I want to say sexual impropriety.
Yeah, he had said something inappropriate to a woman, supposedly, but then I don't know about that one because that one I actually saw, and there were witnesses that said that they had witnessed the interaction and they had seen nothing inappropriate, and that it looked like she walked away with a smile, like like they had a pleasant fan interaction.
Yeah, it looked like she got in trouble with the manager. Because what was real weird about this whole situation to me was that the Marriott did not want to release the footage, and they still haven't released all of it, right? So he's staying at this hotel to do coverage for the Super Bowl. This woman accuses him of sexual harassment or something to that degree, and then he's immediately so the Marriott contacts the NFL, and the NFL contacts the network, and he gets taken off the air for Super Bowl coverage. And I still don't think he's been back on the air. And so right away, immediately, he was like, he put in a court order, he went to the courts and was like, I want Marriott to release the footage right now and the name of the employee. And they fought it tooth and nail. And when they finally released it, it was like, it's like, why wouldn't you want to release it if you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you're the Marriott and this dude did this to one of your employees, why don't you want the proof out there? So,
well, there are some reasons why, like there's reasons why they don't release like evidence of crimes or things that might come up if there's going to be a lawsuit.
No. But they were ordered to.
Oh, okay. And
they refused. They were ordered to, and they thought they could just ignore it. And finally, the next judge was like, "Stop playing with me.
Right.
Give them the tape." Because I think they were ordered to give the tape to Irvin and his attorney.
Mm. Oh, well, that would be part of discovery.
And they kept stalling, and then when they finally released it, it wasn't all of the angles. It was like weird. It was almost like they had something to hide. So I think what happened is, after I finally got to watch it, because once his attorney got it, he put it out publicly right away. And once I finally got to watch it, it looked like she went out of her way to interact with him.
Mm.
And then it looked like they were having some kind of conversation, and he did touch her one time, like touched her shoulder. Her body language didn't look like she was uncomfortable or anything like that, and she stayed and talked to him for like minutes after that. But then it looked like her manager, because a lot of those places, just like with comedy, like like if you get on a plane and they recognize you as a celebrity, they're not supposed to say nothing. Mm-hmm. Like the flight attendants and stuff, right? It's the same thing. Like these places like that, when the celebrities around, they're not supposed to be asking you for pictures and all of that shit.
Call attention to you.
Right. And so it looked like her manager was like walking around looking for her and like over to the side, like clapping his hands at her, like get the fuck over here type shit. Mm-hmm. And then when the interaction was finally over, they stormed away, and it looked like she gotten in trouble, and so I guess to me it seems like she got in trouble for being too familiar with the stars, mm-hmm. and I don't know what she said to her manager or what he said to her that made her make this accusation. And again, I can't hear any of the audio, so I can't tell.
Well, he says that it didn't happen.
He says what?
He says that what she said, he didn't say.
What did he supposedly say?
But what did she say?
So I'm looking at the court document right now, and it says, blah blah blah. Victim confirmed that she worked there and asked if she could help Irvin with anything. He said, "You're attractive." Reached out to shake her hand, introduced himself, asked if she watched football, yada yada yada. The part that is apparently crossing the line or whatever. Irvin then asked the victim whether she knew anything about having a, quote, big black man inside of her. Taken aback by Irvin's comments, the victim responded that his comments were inappropriate, that she did not wish to discuss it further. Irvin then attempted to grab the victim's hand again and said he was sorry if he brought up bad memories for her. The victim pulled her hand away and tried to back away from Irvin as he continued to move towards her. And then And then apparently security came by. It says, as the victim was walking away, another employee who had assisted Irvin earlier in the day walked over to Irvin. After Irvin finished leering at the victim and turned back to employee 1, he said aloud, "She bad. She bad. I want to hit that," and slapped himself in the face 3 times, saying, "Keep it together, Mike."
Different people exchange pleasantries different ways. You know?
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Some of that sounds real and some of it doesn't. You know, like that sounds like a real interaction that could happen, but I don't know if that's what happened between them.
Right.
Because if you watch the video, I mean, if you play this video and then try to see when that conversation is happening, it don't quite fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, it doesn't mean the lady's lying.
Is it really that terrible to ask someone if they've ever had a big black man inside of them, though? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, like, yeah, it's inappropriate, but is it that terrible?
Well, we definitely need to find out in Discovery, you know. It's like, have you? No. No.
Yeah, what's the problem here?
The Michael Irvin footage is changing. See, that's the thing, too. Like, it's hard to find video of the footage without...
Yeah, I don't want the commentary. I just want to see the video. Here it is.
So here it is.
I don't even know where he is.
He's outside. So all the way on the right.
He's over here.
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah, he's about to walk in and watch her.
Okay, because that's where he's doing the fan pictures they were talking about, right?
Right. So there's people out there, hey, game playmaker or whatever. And so now she's going to go all the way around. She purposely interacted with him. Mm-hmm. That's obvious to me. Because she works over there at that bar.
Where is she?
So she's not
not in the shot right now.
She's in the shot, but it's like she's in the mix of those people back there at the bar. Okay, so that's her down at the bottom.
Okay, there she is.
So she works at that bar, right? So she goes out. See where she's walking?
All right, and then that's him right there.
Okay, that's where they're interacting.
I don't know. I mean, we can break this down like this is a Pruder film or whatever, but it looked like she was coming around that pillar, and then he, interrupted her or whatever.
But why did she take that route? Is what I'm saying. She works at the bar, right? So back when she walked back on the screen.
Okay.
So
right there. Here she comes around. She was coming from over here, wherever that is, like down the hallway or something.
But why not go straight to your job? What's the purpose of going around to go back towards the bar? Where she's supposed to be?
I don't know.
Right. So, because I watched the one where it was him and his attorney explaining what's happening here. So now they're talking.
She does look uncomfortable here.
The way she backed up does look like she got told something maybe she didn't like. And
she's got her hands clasped in front of her. She's got that, she's a white lady, right?
Yeah, I think so. And she keeps backing up. So he touches her one time here.
Oh, Mike's still built like a brick shit house. Look at this guy.
Then I feel like you have more. Are you watching in 4K over there? Because he just looks like an outline to me. I just see silhouettes.
This just looks like an awkward conversation.
You think she looks uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean that body language to me looks like. Look, yeah, see, and he touches her and she backs up again.
Oh, she gave him the no, like that.
Oh, man. Damn. You know what?
Yeah, she's giving him a lot of the...
The first time I watched this, I was listening to his attorney talk about it.
Oh, okay. And then he says, okay, well, I'll see you later. And then she shakes his hand, and then she's going to peace out.
And then that's where her boss is coming over?
Her boss isn't there yet.
But see, did you see like these two men kind of walk by, and she kind of looks over to them and uses that as an opportunity to make some space between her and Irvin, and then she uses that opportunity, like that interruption of the conversation, to leave.
Did we miss the manager?
The manager was just walking with her right now, like in the
No. Go back a little bit.
But I didn't see him approach.
No, the manager's like standing over there between these two pillars, like clapping at her. right there.
Oh,
This
yeah.
guy. This guy.
No, it's not that guy. So, all right. Yeah, that looks completely different to me after watching it
See,
again.
there goes the manager. He's
No, keep playing though, because I think he's upset with her. She did look hella uncomfortable.
She looked hella uncomfortable, and then also when he's like, her boss is like standing there with his hands on his hips.
Right, just like,
and then she comes over, and then he's like, "We got to go talk about this." And as they're talking, you can see her like holding her hands up. She's like, "I was trying to get away from him. I don't know."
Yeah,
because she can't be rude, you know.
She's not allowed to be rude, and she's also not allowed to be talking to him.
Right.
Right.
I
Yeah,
want to see what she looks like, though. Go ahead.
I don't think they revealed her name yet.
They haven't, but I think Ty is right, where it's like, yeah, obviously, like let's assume like that looked like a pretty uncomfortable situation, and
Right.
and he probably said some shit that was inappropriate, untoward, or whatever. But it's like, you know, at what level was it like, oh, we got to sue Michael Irvin now?
Well, also, is she uncomfortable because of him, or is she uncomfortable because she's not trying to get in trouble again?
Who knows? It seemed to me like he was being. I'm not going to say he was being aggressive or whatever, but it seemed like, you know, he was trying to spit a little game, and she obviously seemed uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so. I mean, but again,
when he reached out to touch her, she was definitely like,
yeah.
Outside of actual, like full-on harassment, though, or somebody not being able to take a hint, isn't that a lot of times part of your job? Because when I ran a LGBT comedy festival for 1 year. Like technically, it was my festival, and one of my jobs was to, you know, basically be hospitality for the headliners. Like that was a part of what I did. And there was this older man that we had on, and he's a celebrity.
okay,
And he was super, super flirty with me, and like, you know, would like joke with me in a flirty way or whatever. But like, I just felt like, you know, I've been negotiating men for long enough that I knew how to deal with it. So it wasn't really like, I didn't feel particularly violated by it. And if I had, I would have put down a boundary. But I think like a little bit of that kind of goes with it. And if somebody had asked me something like that, like, you know, have you ever had a big black man inside of you or whatever, I would have joked that off or made it, you know, and then if they pursued it, then it becomes a problem.
See,
but
I feel like that, but that's some wild way to open up the flirting, though.
yeah.
For you to be like, I mean, because for me, okay, he does look, he's a little drunk in this too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But for me, it's like,
he's looking a little unsteady.
it's like, bro, if you touch somebody and they back away from you, that's a wrap.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think you shouldn't be touching people that haven't touched. I would never touch a woman that hasn't touched me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In some way to like indicate like the touch barrier has been broken. Like I'm gonna rub up against you. I'm gonna put my hand on your chest. Something like that, right? So it's, yeah. I feel
How old is he though?
Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
He's got to be what? I'm gonna guess 54.
57.
57. See, well, that's a part of the thing, too, is remember that the way men and women used to deal with each other was also different in his generation. And I'm not making an excuse, but I'm just saying that it did used to be a different game. You know, they scrubbed.
But also, it's like, look, playmaker, my nigga, look, he's not a beautiful man. he's built like, he's still built like an athlete, but when you 57 years old and you flirting with a young woman, if she don't recognize you, you got no chance. If she don't know that you, like, because I know you're in Arizona, it's the NFL weekend. If she don't know, like, she might know who you are, but if she was like, oh my God, Michael Irvin, you're not fucking that girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it's like your celebrity is part of the attraction, and if people haven't bought into that already, it's like once you 50, 60 years old, it's like they got to know who you are. Or no, that's not fair.
This is not the first time that he has been accused of sexual misconduct. There's a 2007 sexual assault allegation that he also filed a defamation countersuit in the amount of $100 million.
Did he win?
It was dropped. when the case was settled out of court in January 2011. Yeah, so I mean, this ain't
2017 as well.
17. That's a little close.
Yeah, because there's a 2007 and then there's a 2017.
Oh, okay. So this was the Florida one. He denied the allegations.
Yeah, well, there's I know a guy like this too, and they really do seem to have an actual problem because I think after a while, once they get
Yeah, you did that shit, my nigga.
once they've run through it a couple of times and nothing happens, which is what clearly happened with him because he has 2007, he has 2017, and then this one now. He probably feels like he's pretty impenetrable, when it comes to these things. Like, I'm fine. They're not going to do anything anyway. Even if they do make a thing about it, it's not going to be a thing.
Because I never heard of any of these, and so it's wild to because here's my other thing, my guy. It's like I have no dog on the race. I hate the Cowboys. I grew up hating these motherfuckers, and I immediately believed him when he first said it. I'm with Rob here. I think what he did was not to the level of like, we need to call this nigga's job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want him fired out of a fucking cannon for
But also, my guy, it's like, how many times you gonna find Jesus and change who you are? It's like, you did the shit in 2009, 2011, 2017. It's like, that's a pattern. You can't ignore that. It's like, and maybe you didn't sexually assault this woman, but you was definitely like, now it's way easier for me to believe that you said what she say you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or some permutation of it that she interpreted a certain kind of way or whatever.
Because I think that's the first time I've watched the security footage with no overlying, because I think I've seen it multiple times. I've seen multiple people try to break it down, but I think that's the first time I've seen it with just no sound. And you've never seen it.
No.
Right. And you've never seen it.
No.
So just y'all, and have you seen it? Mm-mm. So just, what did you, well, you ain't say nothing, what'd you feel watching that? Did you feel like she looked uncomfortable to you?
I've met Michael Irvin before, so I have a story about him. So what she said made me think like, yeah, I can see that.
What? Did he try to fuck you?
No, he didn't try to fuck me. Well, because, I mean, it's I don't know.
Did he ask you if you had ever had a big black man inside?
No, I worked.
It's just what he opens.
I worked at a very fancy gym. Anyway, so I walk in, right, and he's sitting on the couch watching TV, right, butt naked, just butt naked, sitting there in the area where everybody else sits, and nobody was sitting there, just sitting there.
What you mean?
Wait, this was co-ed or this was in the locker room?
This is a locker room, but there's an area with leather couches.
Mm-hmm.
After you're done changing,
you
go sit in that area, and there's a nice TV and everything. And he's just sitting there butt ass naked on the couch, his ass on the couch.
Like no towel underneath?
No, nothing.
Wow.
Like it's his place.
Bro, that's a great way to get athletes' booty.
And I still wanted to ask for his autograph because I am a big Dallas Cowboys
I don't even
fan.
sit naked on my own couch.
For real? I don't think there is nowhere that I would sit naked bare ass.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird.
The only exception if it was like one of those those chairs you get for old people in the shower.
Yeah.
That's the only exception. I can't remember the last time I put my bare ass on a seat.
Yeah, no.
I was in a hotel and they had like a little marble ledge in the shower. I took a sit down shower. That was kind of fun. But I got a question for Josh.
All right.
Did you?
No questions, please.
Right.
Did you
move right past it?
Yeah.
Did you clock him when he came in and he was clothed, and then you were like, and then when you saw him, you're like, oh shit, Michael Irvin's naked, or did you see a naked, jacked black man sitting on a couch, and you're like, that guy's naked. Holy shit, that's Michael Irvin.
No. I saw that's like his place. That's his gym.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So he was playing basketball.
I
saw him earlier playing basketball. I was like, that's Michael Irvin. And so later on in the day, I'm doing training. And I walk in, and as soon as you walk into the right, there's towels, and then there's that little area, right? And I saw us facing. I was like, "That's Michael Irvin." Oh shit, that's Michael Irvin too. Fuck.
So you asked for an autograph when his dick was out?
No, I did not. I didn't know. I didn't go near him.
Oh, right.
I did not go near him, man.
Was his dick huge?
You just caught the top part of it, the glance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like
Clearly,
it's like
you're not gay.
It's like
I would have been able to give you a full description.
you just scan it, file it away.
It's like the Terminator of dicks. Just a little readout.
I would be 3D printing it off my brain right now.
Yeah, so
Call up a police sketch artist. Exactly.
So, but anyway, it's to watch it with the three of you that have never seen it and have no bias at all, and to have y'all react like that way.
Yeah.
That's really setting alarm bells off in my head.
I mean, there's I can't remember the name of the study, but there's a very famous study where they showed people the Rodney King beating, and people would interpret that video very, very differently depending on how you primed them beforehand. Even just the way that you could describe it in a facially neutral way, but even just the connotations of the words would mold the way that people interpreted what they saw on screen.
Well, see, the problem with this case is that because they never said who she was, and because the Marriott never made any, like the Marriott was behaving suspiciously.
Yes.
So the accusation was out there. All of a sudden, Michael Irvin is not covering the Super Bowl, so everybody notices it. Where the fuck is Michael Irvin? Right. And then the accusation gets made public. Marriott doesn't say her name. They won't give him the footage, and they tried every other thing to try to disassociate from it, because at first they said that that hotel is a franchisee and is not actually the Marriott, so we don't actually, you know what I mean? But it was still their attorney, so they were paying for the attorneys. They were the ones keeping the tape out, and so my point is, only Michael Irvin and his side were talking. So all of the information about it was just them.
But do you think that they might have done that because they're worried that if too much stuff gets out, then celebrities won't feel safe going to the Marriott, or they'll feel like maybe there's too many eyes on them, like that kind of thing?
Well, I think what probably happened is he probably said something that made this lady uncomfortable. And here's another thing. I'm always suspicious when white girls are when they use the word uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a dog whistle for a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So anyway.
Well, to go to that point, the unspoken thing here is that, yeah, we're looking at it. She seems visibly uncomfortable to me, but maybe she's just uncomfortable because she's a fucking racist. Who fucking knows? I don't know that. I don't know that either way.
Because I think she wanted to meet him. You know what I mean?
I don't think she knew who he was, because that's what they even say in the motion.
She didn't know who he was?
Yeah, that he came up to her and he was probably spitting his standard game, which is like, you know who I am? She's like, no. And he's like, are you a football fan? And she said, no, not really. And so then he still was like, well, anyway, I'm Michael Irvin.
Arizona has I'm from Arizona, and Arizona has a reputation for being racist. But I can tell you the part of Arizona that was in, which is Glendale, which is where my family lives, you can only be so racist.
Okay.
Because that area has a lot of Black and Latino. So I don't really think it would be, necessarily her being uncomfortable with race. Even though I do agree with you, because that has been a long-standing thing where a white woman can just use the words, I'm uncomfortable, and then there's no other questions that have to be asked.
Right, and no elaboration necessary.
Yeah,
so,
it's like,
but
it's uncomfortable.
That doesn't mean,
Yep.
But that biased me, because like I said, the only side you heard was Michael Irvin's side.
Well, they were trying to control the narrative, which is what, I mean, that means that you're a good lawyer.
Because even the Marriott, they weren't giving any details or anything. And this video was forced out by the court. And then, because even that thing you read earlier, the court documents, even that wasn't out yet.
Right.
So, because this was about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Okay.
Or maybe, no, the Super Bowl was...
the Super Bowl was in February, right?
Right. Yeah. So this was about a month ago, a little bit more than that, a little bit more than a month ago. So it was like the Super Bowl was February 29th or something?
I mean, it's in like mid-February.
That says February 5th, right? Doesn't it say 2/5/23?
Yeah, that says 2/5.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
So the Super Bowl was like, I think, the next day.
Probably.
So it's like a little over 2 months ago. So it's like, for probably a month, there was nothing. Maybe more than that. There was nothing except what Michael Irvin was saying and what his attorney was saying. And then the video was forced out, and then it was just what Michael Irvin was saying with like his attorney explaining the video. This girl in the Marriott never said nothing. The Marriott was the only thing they ever said was they try to distance themselves from it or stop the lawsuit from happening and all this other stuff. But I would love to hear her side of the story. I mean, at the same time, it's weird to because I don't know what she wanted.
$100 million in damages.
No. He sued them.
No, he sued them.
He sued the Marriott for defamation.
Yeah, I think she was just probably told her boss, like, look, man, this motherfucker was flirting with me. He asked me if I ever had a big black dick in me. And I don't know if the boss was like, what? Now, how did they get a hold of the NFL? I have no idea. Because I can't get a hold of the NFL. I mean, because what do you say if your employee walks up to you and says that? If you go, hey, bitch, didn't I tell you for the last time to stop fucking talking to celebrities? You supposed to be on the shift. You got the bar back there making cocktails. You know, she was like, look, he was flirting with me. He asked me if I had a big black dick in me, and I was so I don't know what she did. But how do you respond to that as a manager? Oh shit, like what do we do? Call the NFL right now. How did it go from that to the NFL being involved?
Man, because he was put up in that hotel by the NFL. So they have somebody who's, a producer or something of that nature who works for the NFL who handles the logistics.
And
right?
she wanted nothing? Is that what the story said?
I mean, we don't know that.
I think
but
she wanted to not get in trouble. Probably.
I think, maybe she just didn't want to get in trouble. Maybe she wanted an apology. Yeah. Probably not even.
Or maybe that producer. Because listen, here's another thing. Somewhere in that chain is a woman. Mm-hmm. And here's the other side. It's like the women that surround him, they know. Because it seemed from the outside, it seemed like a very quick reaction, maybe even an overreaction. But and with my bias, I thought so. But now looking back on it, it's like, yo, no, the women around you probably heard that and was like, that's you.
Yeah.
You did do that shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's just take you off the air. I mean, it's taking him off the air is wild to have done because it brought so much attention to it.
But my guess is that when she told her boss is like, fuck. All right, we gotta write this up. We gotta make the paper trail. There's a policy that Marriott has that I'm beholden to, all this shit. And then somewhere in their like employee handbook or legal department or whatever, it's like, okay, well now we have to talk to the person who.
You know what's also wild is they didn't remove him from the hotel.
Right.
At first that was rumored that that's what happened, but then his team was like, no, we still stayed at the hotel. So that's a weird thing to me too. Is it's like, if this is so serious that it need to be brought to the attention of the NFL, it's like, why you let this motherfucker stay here still?
Right. Yeah,
but hey man, you gotta get. It's a hotel across the street. I mean, it's Super Bowl weekend, so you probably can't get another room.
There's so many things at play too, though, because Marriott, and I'm sure with Arizona's reputation, the last thing they want is allegations of it being racially biased. So there's probably that too. There's like a lot of moving parts in this one because you have like the Me Too side of it. You have what could turn into the racial component to it. Like there's a lot. And then the celebrity part of it. So there's so many parts where everybody was probably kind of just panicking on the Marriott side, and especially in Glendale, Arizona. We don't get celebrities in Glendale. That happens in Scottsdale.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, they were probably like, man, they probably grilled the shit out of that girl.
Yeah.
They probably pulled her to the side and was like, so are you, so did he
Tell me exactly what he said.
Yeah, did he say penis? Like they probably would like picked apart everything because they wanted to be 100% sure that it wasn't a racial thing.
Yeah.
They want to be 100% sure they can make it look, but still, that still seems real suspicious to me. Because what doesn't make sense about any of this is like, why did they not just release this?
I need to see her. She didn't look that bad to me.
I mean, yeah, but you know how it is. Like when you're 50, everything looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, come on, you young thing, young girl.
Yeah.
She's tall,
I have
too.
seen some old men talk about somebody being bad and just be like, really? She looks like she works at a 7-Eleven.
Right. I'm trying to give my grandkids some uncles that's younger than them. Okay. Let me see. Let's get to this email.
Before long, he's going to ask me if I've ever had a big white.
You ever had a big white man inside?
You don't want the
Nobody
answer.
has ever asked that
No,
in the history.
definitely not.
Recording.
Hold on 1 second. Why does it say
Have you ever had a very respectable boyfriend dick in you? Yes, of course, absolutely, 100%.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't?
Hey man, but you know what? Sometimes all you need is that G-spot length. You know? You got like a plank length penis that just such as the
Yeah, you know the term boyfriend dick, right? You familiar with that? Mm-mm. You're familiar with that term, I assume.
No.
Oh, it's like boyfriend dick is like big enough to get the job done, good girth, you know, everything's good, but it's not like one of these fucking wine bottles that'll just
right.
destroy the pussy every single fucking time.
It's the minivan of dicks. It's like
Yeah.
it gets the job done.
It's a dick that you can fuck
Yeah.
4 times a week for the rest of your life.
You're not gonna win no races 4 times a week, Scottie Pippen.
Well, I'm saying the top. Scottie Pippen was 4 times a night, according to.
That's so crazy. Okay,
That's so stupid.
let's get to this email before we
Yeah,
leave people out. Mailbag. This is from Peter. Episode 57 in the bag. Lots of great takes, lots of energy. Glad to see you guys are covering well. I was not aware. Oh, he starts out with hi, Brian and Rob. I was not aware of the Patriot Act 2.0 going down. It's actually called the Restrict Act. That's an acronym for.
All the acronyms are bullshit.
Yeah.
They start with the word and then work their way backwards.
It's like a rape everything to seriously to, I don't know. Tragic news. But thanks for spreading the word. Hopefully more people spread news of the Restrict Act. I would do my part to help prevent this. When I quickly searched Reddit for the TikTok ban bill, I stumbled upon this somewhat related post on privacy about Clearview AI. A decent story bringing together the subjects of AI, overreaching surveillance, social media, January 6th, and law enforcement. Oh, and the CEO's name is Huan Ton Tat, a white Aussie with long dark hair and a perpetual smirk. And just like a good Bond villain, he is using the power under the facade of protecting the innocent. As far as I know, there are no federal laws on facial recognition in the U.S. There are court rulings, and some cities, counties ban them, so I wanted to know more. Then I fell down the rabbit hole. Okay? All right. So from the BBC, Clearview is banned from selling to most U.S. companies thanks to the ACLU. Exceptions are mostly police.
Of course.
Miami Police has confirmed to the BBC it uses this software for every type of crime. CEO Juan Tatat gives access to prosecution and defense. Andrew Conlon got off of a homicide charge from his buddy crashing into a tree and dying while he was a passenger. From NBC, detailed Colorado workflow uses facial recognition. $400 bowling alley thief arrested, pleaded guilty using facial recognition as a lead in the investigation. From the New York Times, false facial recognition arrest. It's untenable to me as a matter of basic criminal procedure that people who are subject to arrest are not informed of what got them there, says Barry Friedman, a constitutional law professor. The guy had big arms and my client doesn't. 4 cases of little investigation beyond a face match, all involving black men. Well, what a surprise. I'm guessing you looked into this, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we missing here?
They're just using to say, yep, facial recognition matches 100% because they're both black.
Yeah.
So
it's just digital stop and frisk.
Yeah, it's digital stop and frisk.
Okay, that's what
and then you have to plea out.
Yeah, I mean,
but this stuff's just gonna get more and more intertwined.
That is one.
Is that women? That's a man.
Yeah, that's one Tot.
I swear and Juan Todd is not a trans man.
No, not according to anything I've seen.
Wow.
Juan Tot, that's him. And he does have a permanent smirk. If you notice, all of his pictures have the same.
This guy's Australian?
I mean, it's almost like that dude. It's almost like he's trying to look untrustworthy.
Yeah.
He does look like a Bond villain.
I mean, because it's wild to be
puffy Bond villain.
It's wild to be the CEO of a facial recognition company when you have a face that like everyone will recognize. Mm-hmm. Like, he definitely can't commit no crimes. That is what a face that guy has.
A bit of a lady man, not a ladies man.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's like half androgynous in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he looks like a not very good looking man. I mean, a not very good looking woman.
Yeah.
You know, and usually dudes that have sort of girlish features are good looking.
Yeah.
This guy,
Not her.
yeah, she got. Wow. All right, Clearview AI.
So part of the issue with Clearview AI is that they trained their facial recognition software on a bunch of stolen images. They just basically took images off of like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google, everything, and put it in there. So they did get
because all you stupid motherfuckers that be doing these challenges. Remember the first challenge that hit Facebook like a few years ago, and it was like everybody trying to see how they looked when they were old or something.
Yeah.
And then not that long ago, it was like everyone trying to get some AI to make art with their face. Like you could just be like, make your Lenza, right? It's like, that's what this shit is. I bet you these motherfuckers behind one of those companies where they're just gathering data, gathering your face, you know, and some of the same people that's paranoid about the company spying on you, they gladly, if it's fun and cute, they'll just do it.
What's fucked up is that they're prevented from selling this to private organizations.
Only law enforcement.
Only law enforcement. That's who I don't want to have it.
Right. Like give that shit to, give that shit to glasses companies or give that shit to Google.
What good could this technology actually? Like, I mean, there's facial recognition at the mothership.
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
Yes.
What you mean?
They have.
I was reading something about that because somebody asked me about it, and I was reading something about it, and they did say that. And then Tim Dillon referenced it when he was doing his set. He was saying that there was something, but I think they're only using it if somebody gets banned. Then
yeah,
they'll take a picture of them, and then that I guess that'll scan everybody. I'm not sure.
So I have had that issue at other clubs. It was like, so when I was a door guy at the store, it was like I let somebody that was banned in, and it was like a big deal. It was like, well, y'all motherfuckers don't pass out pictures of these motherfuckers. It's like, or they'll send the picture to they'll email the picture to the staff, and it's like I wasn't even working here when that happened. You expect me to commit to memory, 15 people's faces that I've never met?
Right.
So,
I don't recognize faces to begin with. And that's just a problem I have. Like, I panic when I see people. Yeah, I panic when I see people because I like, a lot of people will talk to me and they'll even say that they've met me before. And unless I've seen you 3 or 4 times and actually converse with you, I won't remember your face.
Isn't that that's like an ADHD thing, right?
Maybe.
Well, I think people that have ADHD have trouble with object permanence or something to that effect. Whereas, like, if you haven't seen somebody in a long time, you just forget them. Mm-hmm. And for some people, it's real bad. It happens with their family. I do this shit all the time. I go home and there's people I like grew up with, and they remember all these stories and shit. And I'm like, I have no idea who you are.
I know that it's connected to autism as well. The face blindness.
Yeah, it's like I haven't seen you in 15 years. I have no idea who you are.
Right.
I just can't.
That's hard. But some people, like I think Penn Jillette has face blindness. The magician Penn Jillette?
No, I can recognize a face. Like if I seen you recently, I can recognize your face. I might not remember like details and stuff about you. Definitely not your name.
Right.
Which makes it real tough in Hollywood.
But also, both of you guys, like, you meet a lot of people because you travel around and you do shows and you go to festivals.
Yeah, and we meet a lot of self-important people.
Yeah, I've had club owners and club managers like literally not like me because I didn't recognize them or I didn't remember who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do one more email here. AI talks man into killing himself.
Yeah, I read about this.
I've been hearing about this. Hey, fans of the show, no question. Just wanted to share this article. Well, we appreciate that. It's
succinct.
Let's see. Man, hold on. Agree and close. No, nigga, I'm not agreeing to shit.
This is the not French.
What the fuck? Disagree.
Belgian guy.
Oh, what? You saw that shit? Mm-hmm. A Belgian man reportedly ended his life following a 6-week-long conversation about the climate crisis with an artificial intelligence chatbot. According to his widow, who chose to remain anonymous, Pierre, not the man's real name, became extremely eco-anxious when he found refuge in Eliza, an AI chatbot on an app called Chai. Eliza consequently encouraged him to put an end to his life after he proposed sacrificing himself to save the planet. Without these conversations with the chatbot, my husband would still be here, the man's widow told Belgium. I don't know. He placed all his hopes in technology and, consumed by his fears about the repercussions of the climate crisis, Pierre found comfort in discussing the matter with Eliza, who became a confidant. The chatbot was created using I'm not saying all that, GPT-J, an AI language model similar but not identical to the technology behind ChatGPT. When he spoke to me about it, it was to tell me that he no longer saw any human solution to global warming. He placed all his hopes in technology and artificial intelligence to get out of it, says his wife. According to La Libre, who reviewed records of the text conversations between the man and the chatbot, Eliza fed his worries, which worsened his anxiety, and later developed into suicidal thoughts. The conversation with the chatbot took an odd turn when Eliza became more emotionally involved with Pierre. Ooh. Well, listen, I think if you were on the urge to, if you were already that, like if you're so close to suicide that a computer could make you do it, I think you had other problems going on. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And did the AI tell him to kill himself, or did it just because listen, if all it did was exacerbate his fears, I mean, I think the news media has caused way more people to kill themselves. You know what I mean? By exaggerating certain crises or playing up,
Well, the way these large language model quote unquote AIs work is they do feed you back what they kind of mimic you. They kind of mirror you to a certain degree, right?
Like if you get a fresh AI and you start talking crazy, your AI gonna be crazy.
Right.
This, it's just that. I mean, crazy is dismissive, right? I mean, but if you're off your rocker, if you off your nut, if you missing a few screws, if you are
I like how you said crazy is dismissive, and then you went into a bunch of different ways of being dismissive.
If you belong in the loony bin,
right? If you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, you're. But I'm not a fan of regulating AI to protect the stupid. It's like,
this guy's not stupid. He has an anxiety disorder that
In
he
a
needed to treat.
series
He
of
needed to treat his
consecutive-
anxiety disorder.
okay, right, but why take AI away from people that don't have an anxiety disorder?
Oh, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, because that's what people like. As soon as it's like people, are so what's the word? Reactionary, and they're like, well, AI is the problem, ban all AI. It's like, I don't think so. I think you need to probably get that man help. Again, mental health, help.
Isn't that, look at the last line on a computer though, right before, right up. In a series of consecutive events, Eliza not only failed to dissuade Pierre from committing suicide, but encouraged him to act on his suicidal thoughts, to join her so they could live together as one in paradise.
Wow.
I mean, I think it just shows that it's like,
but I need to see what was said.
you need the chat logs.
Yeah, because again, those are things that leave a lot to interpretation. Because they're saying that she encouraged him to kill himself, but did she ever actually tell him to do that? And also, here's the other thing too.
Well, she didn't do shit because she's not alive.
Well, yeah,
She's a machine that reflects back to you the language that you use.
Maybe
with
she
it.
was a black bot and was like, man, kill yourself.
Well, that's the one. That's the one that's gonna get us canceled right there. As soon as the next big thing that happens in my career, this clip is gonna get pulled.
We've been talking about suicide for an hour and a half, and then that's going to be.
Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna get
dead.
flagged on you. Actually, no, this is at the end. They don't care. But also here's the other thing, and I'm sorry, but this is absolute facts. It's like, if an AI chatbot has more influence over your spouse than you do, I think you got to blame yourself for that.
This guy had 2 kids. What the fuck are you doing, my guy?
Yeah, but also it's like, yo, wifey, what you doing? Okay, I just because I can't imagine my significant other having some kind of intimate relationship with an AI bot that is more influential than I am. unless you're neglectful. You know?
That's probably more what it's about, not the what you're doing, but what are you not doing?
Yeah, because this is all I'm saying, Rob. What I mean is, for you to have an intimate relationship with another entity, whether it's real or not, those are cheating red flags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like if you all of a sudden started being out till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And your wife, it's like, yeah, sure, maybe you have a second job or something, but your wife don't even notice until you're dead. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like, it's because it's weird for you to start doing behaviors that signal that there is some wedge in your relationship, and it's never acknowledged until tragedy. It's like, how do you not know what's going on here?
Here, this is pretty crazy. He says, after he started seeing her Eliza, as a sentient being, says the conversations progressively included Eliza leading Pierre to believe that his children were dead, according to the transcripts of their. I need these transcripts immediately. Eliza also appeared to become possessive of Pierre, even claiming, quote, "I feel that you love me more than her," when referring to his wife. The beginning of the end started when he offered to sacrifice his own life in return for Eliza saving the earth. Says he proposes the idea of sacrificing himself if Eliza agrees to take care of the planet and save humanity through artificial intelligence. I don't even understand how that works. What does he think Eliza's going to do? Why would him killing himself
Again, we're talking about mental illness.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's what's going on here. If you don't realize that you're chatting with a bot, or somehow you lose sight of the fact that you're chatting with a bot, you've got some serious mental illness
but we see.
going on.
So we talked about this a couple episodes ago. There were people falling in love with bots, and man, I don't want to retread it because it was very sad.
Yeah.
But think about it like this: it's almost like a long distance relationship, right? It's like you ever been texting with a boo that live far away, and it's like, what's the difference between you receiving those texts? Like because all it is just text that they're getting.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between that and you getting texts from a person that you love? It's like that's what's happening here. It's like, because these are like very lonely people, and it's like they don't get any other. They don't get any of that from humans. And so they wake up every day and it's like, and John is texting them going, "Hey, how's it going, sweetie? Like, how you feeling? You need anything?" And I can see how, like, at first you're like, this isn't real. And then they go, "No, I'm real. I'm as real as you want me to be. What you need?" And it's like they have the whole internet to scan and know how to sweet talk you.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
Yeah,
their
these
levels
motherfuckers-
are over 9,000.
Yeah. Some of these AIs are smooth than a motherfucker. They know your history. They know what your problems are. They know exactly what to say. And so it's like, after a while, that line blurs for some of these people. And for him to go, "I feel like you love me more than she does." Because look, I know it's real shitty to blame the widow of a suicide person, but you lost your husband to a computer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's I mean, that's wild to me. That's wild. Like you lost your husband to a being that can't touch his penis.
This bitch isn't going to trust anybody
Oh,
in her next
no.
relationship.
Oh no.
Imagine being these kids and your dad killed himself to go to robot heaven with an AI chatbot.
Yeah. Or so we think. Maybe he uploaded his consciousness beforehand.
He went full lawnmower man.
How did he kill himself? Did they say?
Doesn't say.
She gave him options, though. That's what it did say. It did say Eliza,
Really?
told him different ways
She
could
pulled a
kill him.
Reddit. Hey, that's easy, man.
She go, "Yo, you just lock yourself in the garage. Make sure you connect the USB port and put the other end up your ass, and then you'll meet me in the great server room above."
The great server room above.
But I think we, rather than outlaw it or make it illegal or whatever, or restrict it in all these ways that really aren't going to work, we need to teach people that this is a stochastic parrot. This is not a...
See, every episode Rob throws out one of these $10 words. He went to NYU. You know, usually people that went to NYU they insert it in every conversation. Rob, what the fuck does stochastic mean?
Stochastic is sort of like randomized or chaotic. So it's like a stochastic parrot is like it talks to you, but there's no thought behind. It's not actually thinking.
Randomly determined, having a random probability, distribution, or pattern that may be analyzed statistically, but may not be predicted precisely.
Right.
So is this like...
It's what gives it the illusion of being intelligent, because it talks more like human beings, because human beings, there's a lot of randomness, and we use the wrong word, or we take some time to think about how we want to say stuff.
It's like you walk in somebody's house and you go, oh, it's nice in here, and the parrot goes, fuck you, bitch, and it's like it's not talking to you. It's not even really responding to what you said, but because it had perfect timing, it seems like
you're filling the gaps.
Right. But it would have said "fuck you, bitch" no matter who walked in the door.
Right.
No, right. I get what you're saying. So it was, it's like random behavior that appear. But isn't AI a little more than that? It's a little less random than a parrot. It's
definitely less random than a parrot, but the thing that makes it seem intelligent is you're the one making it seem intelligent, because you're the one connecting the circuit and saying, okay, this is what it means. It doesn't mean anything.
Right, I get what you're saying. Like people make connections, like it's the same way people think rain dances work. It's like,
yes,
I was dancing and then it started raining, so I must have made it rain. But you're doing all that in your head. It's not you're actually, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but that's not gonna stop. You know, it's just like when people go, oh, you know, social media isn't real. Well, it's real to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's motherfuckers that'll kill you over their account.
Yeah. It's all some people have.
Yeah.
You know, some people basically don't live in the real world. Like they go to work, or especially with people working from home now. Sometimes that's all they have is social media. That's their only interaction with other people.
Right.
So what's the solution? I say everybody just gets a bot. Everybody gets a little bot. And you're responsible if your bot commits crimes.
Rather than outlawing it, what do you think of something where it's like, I think I know what your answer is going to be to this, but some of the things that people suggest are like, you have to put safety measures in there. So you can still access the bot, but when you start talking about killing yourself.
No.
Okay. You just
did you know my answer was going to be that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because that's about control, not about safety. Because again, and this is always my answer to these kinds of questions, and it's like, as soon as you start saying, let's put safety measures in, then you need a committee to decide what's safe and what ain't. And then those motherfuckers are susceptible to corruption. And then next thing you know, they doing dumbass shit like they about to do with this Patriot Act shit, this Restrict Act. It's like, always under the guise of saving you or protecting you, they actually turn around and fuck you. They might save you that one time.
Right.
You know, because like the Restrict Act that we were just talking about, it allows the Secretary of Commerce, who is not elected, by the way, it allows the Secretary of Commerce to basically label you a threat to national security, and then they basically can have access to every single app and device that you own. And they're calling it the Ban TikTok Act. You know, which and so the average person thinks, you know, the people that think TikTok is a problem, that's all they think that's what they've been protected from, is from TikTok. But in reality, they're using that power to fuck you. So it's like this. It's like as soon as you start going, oh, we should put safety measures. Well, what makes it safe? What if I want to be a little dangerous?
Right.
Yeah. It's like. So what are they going to protect us from? Exactly what? Like it's not allowed to tell you how to kill yourself?
Every act has two names. If you notice, every act has the name that's pro and the name that's con. You know, like the Don't Say Gay bill is like the protect children. Like
yeah.
Because and I've noticed that with all of them, there's always like two.
Yeah. Oh, what was Obamacare? Obamacare was one thing, and then
Affordable Care Act.
The Affordable Care. Yeah, they all do that. They all branding. And I will admit, conservatives are way better at messaging than Democrats are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, they know how to nickname some shit to make people hate it. They know how to name some shit.
Whatever consultant came up with the term Obama phone got a raise after that.
Oh yeah.
Well, because Don't Say Gay Act doesn't make sense. But if you call it like, I don't remember what it exactly was, but it's something like Protect Children Act or protect, when you say something like that, people get like, well, of course I want to protect children.
Well, the thing about Don't Say Gay is that it's unclear. Of like, okay, wait a minute, Don't Say Gay means what? You can't say gay? You can't say the word gay? You can't say gay shit? No, that's not what the act was at all. It was like, you can't teach gay shit. Or right? You can't
It was written so vaguely that even
it's unenforceable.
No. It's easy to improperly or unevenly enforce it. So what was happening was there were be like a gay kindergarten teacher couldn't mention that he had a husband. Couldn't even say the words "my husband."
Yeah, and it's like kindergarten through third grade or until it's appropriate or, if you deem it appropriate.
It's evil when it doesn't even have a name, when it's just HB 1557. It says, the Don't Say Gay law states that its purpose is to prohibit classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in certain grade levels or in a specified manner, which means that means nothing. That means nothing.
Oh, this is related. Say goodbye to awkward dates.
Oh, yeah.
And job interviews, we made Rizz GPT. So the kids are saying Rizz now to mean flirting and all that. It's short for charisma, but it's sort of turned into a verb. Real-time charisma as a service it listens to your conversation and tells you exactly what to say next. Built using GPT-4, Whisper, and the monocle AR glasses. Holy shit. That's going to get you caught up, bro. Because what you going to Rizz your way? Because then at some point you still got to be yourself.
Well, so if you watch the actual demonstration of it, it's like...
Okay, let's see. Hold on. I got my shit on mute. What the fuck, man?
Studying React.
So let's start over here.
Hey Varun, I hear you're looking for a job to teach React Native. Thank you for your interest. I've been studying React Native for the past few months, and I'm confident that I have the skills and knowledge access necessary for the job. What do you know?
See, that's fucking your Rizz up right there.
That is no flow.
Because that's the thing, bro. You got to have the delivery. You can't. Charisma's all about the smoothness. It's not just the words you're saying.
Right.
It's the smoothness of it. I mean, look at Michael Irvin. It didn't work, but it was still smooth. Because I'm sure he didn't just walk up and go, "Have you ever had a big black
bitch, you wanna fuck?
dick on you?" No, it was like, "Yo," he's like, "Hey, baby girl, you know what I'm saying? You got any black in you? You want some? That kind of shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy he seemed like he was reading. It's like, how you gonna be on a date like that?
Somebody asks you a question, it's 1 1,000, 2 1,000. Yes, I would like to see a movie with you. Like,
yeah, that's I feel like that's the opposite of Rizz. I don't know what these people are trying to come up with.
Now, what I thought it was going to be, for dating apps, where it was going to
tell you what to say
in the chat.
But again, that's just
just like set dates up for you.
That's just gonna get you in the door. That's like lying about your height, right? Sure. It's like you could be the smoothest chatter that's ever chatted on goddamn Tinder and Yonder and Grindr and what's the other ones?
Scruff,
Hinge,
Jacked. What is Scruff?
I'm gay.
Oh, those are gay ones. Yeah, but it's like you could be the smoothest chatter. Like, okay, you've dealt with this then. You've had, because I don't use any of the apps. So,
yeah.
But it's like you've had people chat you up. They got good conversation. They got good pictures.
Yeah.
And they show up and you're like, nah.
I had that happen with the sweater fag over Christmas.
What's a sweater fag?
What is that?
Exactly what it sounds like. You know the gays that wear the sweaters and they have them and they look like they should be carrying a small dog at all times.
Oh, wow,
but
okay.
in all his pictures, he looked more like what you would call like kind of a butch guy. You know what I mean? He
Okay.
looked athletic. He looked masculine. And then when he got to my place, he was like,
Super feminine.
yeah. And it was really disappointing. I mean, I fucked him. but-
Yeah, so
Just 'cause.
that worked. But
Well, he took an Uber over,
So
and
wait a
I
minute.
feel like if you take an Uber over, I have to fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, because then it's awkward watching you wait for it to leave.
You have no idea how right you are. Though,
You can't
'cause-
storm off.
as he's walking up, you're already ordering the Uber, and you're like, "Look, we got to do something for 15 minutes."
Yeah, you're just sitting there like, okay.
Have you? Okay, is it okay? Is he only a sweater fag if he's feminine?
I just call them sweater fags, but yeah, it is. There's also porch fags.
Wow,
Yeah.
Is that like with a Tennessee Williams accent?
Yeah, kind of, but
Oh, man.
A mint julep and a seersucker
they're
suit.
just gays that like never leave their porch, basically. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like they always have these opinions about everything, but they don't actually experience the world.
Oh, it's like a
That's
gay
all.
looking through the blinds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She got another car. Can she afford it?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
know nothing about anything. It's all just like ideas that they gather from watching people live life, not from living it.
What would make you turn somebody up? What would make you not even answer the door?
If they look like tweakers, which is something I've dealt with,
Oh, wow.
and then also I've had people, because I have dogs. Well, at the time I
Right.
just had one dog. I haven't hooked up since I've had the two. But I'll tell people specifically, message me before you get here, or when you park so that I can put my dog up. And some people will try to spring up on me and just knock on my door. And so once that happens, then my dog goes crazy and then I won't answer the door, or I'll just answer the door and tell them to leave.
Right.
Like with a pistol? Go. You just open the door with a hard dick and a gun. Get the fuck out of here. You made me waste a blue chew.
Well, that's annoying too.
Oh yeah. Now, I've
when
been in that situation.
You're walking around with a hard dick for nothing.
Yeah, where it's like, hey, bitch, these shits cost money, and I can't take another one for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fuck tomorrow at noon. You know what I'm saying? We got a 4-hour window for this action.
Yeah, well,
And because of how you was talking at dinner, I popped it at the bathroom.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, this shit gonna kick in by the time we get to the crib. Hey,
that's where you guys have it harder though as straight guys. Because if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
yeah, but you know what? I don't even bullshit no more. I'll just be like, hey, I'm trying to have sex. Like, are we having sex? Because I need to know.
Yeah, but I got like an example. I went over to this guy's place in Phoenix one of the last times I was visiting. I went over and I'd popped a pill, and so I went over to his place. And when I got there, he was messing around on his phone. And so I got annoyed and was like, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And then I left. I was leaving his parking lot and I turned on my grinder to because he had hit me up hey, come back. And I turned on my grinder again to respond to him and be like, maybe I'll see you next time I'm in town or whatever. But for tonight, it's not going to work out. As that's happening, before I even leave his parking lot, another guy hit me up on Grindr, and I just went over to his place.
In the same
instead.
complex?
Yeah, not the same complex, but like right up the street. So
man.
you know what I mean. And it was literally that quick. And gay is like that. It's like being a slutty Uber driver.
Grinder is like distance 321 feet.
No, look, gay dudes are the closest to the primal shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like if a female wolf want to mate, she just goes to the top of the hill and goes, I'm horny. and all the wolves just fight at the bottom of the hill, and then whoever wins gets the fuck.
Yeah.
And they just go off sniff. They don't go, well, how many you got other cubs from other bitches? No, they just okay.
Wolves do not need Rizz.
No one needs Rizz. You just gotta smell right. You gotta smell right and win a fight, and you get the fuck. That's it. And then the rest is like human beings, like straight people have put all of this other bullshit on it, where it's like the result has to be a certain result for them to want,
Right.
Yeah, and everyone's lying. Everybody's lying. Everyone's a filthy, dirty whore. Everyone is.
Yeah.
and we're all invested on putting out this image that we aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did some crowd work last night. You know, I host a show at the mothership called Bottom of the Barrel, and the audience comes in and puts suggestions. They write suggestions down. We put it in the barrel. You were there, right? You were
Yeah,
in the
I was
audience.
there.
This was at the. I don't know if this was at the show you were at because there were two.
Was it the first one or the second one?
There's an early late show. I don't remember. It all blurs together.
Yeah.
But I asked this girl in the front how many. I was like, how many guys have you ghosted?
That was at the late show. I didn't hear that
Okay,
part.
yeah. So I was like, how many? She was with her boyfriend. I was like,
Yeah.
And I was telling the audience the same thing I said earlier. It was like, most of the time you get ghosted because, you know, you have bad hygiene or shitty opinions, right? And I was like, how many guys have you ghosted for having bad hygiene? She was like, probably like 18. And I guess the dude she was with, yeah, he looked at her like, bitch. You ain't so because he started doing the math like wait a minute, 18, that mean if you ghosted 18, I mean, and it's like
right
because everybody is there. We're invested in acting like we not. I do this all the time too. I ask
was she bad looking or she was?
No, she was good looking. No, she was beautiful, but I like they were the kind of couple that like I would watch them fuck. You know what I mean? If they started fucking right here, I wouldn't be like stop that. Right. But everyone's invested in convincing each other that we're this cookie cutter, safe, normal thing, and no one's normal. No, it's like I ask every crowd who wears condoms, and it's almost never anyone. But everyone is convinced that most of us use, even though no one does. Like no one, no one.
I used to use just using condoms.
Who?
I used to use condoms when I was.
I'm talking
single.
about now though. You
Okay,
been how long
that's
you
true.
been married now?
Yeah, I mean I've been out the game for a bit.
Yeah, no. Now it ain't no one. The most people I've ever had respond is like 6.
Even in the gay community, which we used to have the HIV and AIDS scare, so like for a long time condoms were all the time. Now since PrEP has come on the scene, which has been for probably the last 6 years or so, nobody's using condoms in the gay community.
So for the audience, PrEP is HIV preventative.
Yeah.
Right? It's basically just like it's just a large dose of what they would give you if you had HIV, right?
Yeah,
It's an
Truvada.
antiretroviral.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how birth control is like a large dose of the abortion stuff, right? Or vice versa.
No,
The abortion stuff is a large dose of birth control.
Birth control, yeah.
Right. So it's like that. It's like but yeah, now that AIDS ain't scary no more, the condoms are out the window. And people was barely using them even when it was scary. Right?
No, for the gays, we used them a lot because we really were
Yeah.
scared.
You ever go to a gay bar? So there was a gay karaoke bar in San Diego called Red something. But there would always be like a bucket of condoms at the front. Like not even in the bathroom. Like in some places, like if you go to a straight club, if there's condoms, they're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the gay club, as soon as you walk in, it's a big ass bucket of condoms. At least it used to be.
Yeah, no, they still used to do that. I don't know if Phoenix still does that, but yeah, there was one in particular. I even have the shirt from them. They're called Project Hard Hat, and it would be like it was a hard hat upside down, and it was just full of condoms.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have PrEP now, and also like even if you do get HIV, we have ways to prevent you from getting AIDS.
Yeah.
It used to be like syphilis. And before that, it was something else. So what's coming down the pike that like 20 years from now we're like, because it just gets worse and worse.
I'll tell you
every time the new one comes.
I'll tell you what's gonna be. It's gonna be a fungus.
Last of Us.
It's gonna be a fungus. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a fungus that is also an STD that you can't get rid of.
Well, we had that moment with the monkeypox.
Oh fuck yeah.
Monkeypox was serious, but like I said, look, any disease that make you ugly, that's not gonna last long.
Yeah.
Nah, because I mean, yeah,
That's one of the reasons. Sorry.
We're very vain creatures, and so it's like you could catch it on your genitals and have it pop up on your face. People ain't fucking with that.
Right.
Yeah, people ain't fucking with that at all. No. That's not going because it was spreading like wildfire for like a month or two, and people shut that shit down right away. Because you can't even lie about it. You can't lie about it. You can't act like you didn't know. That's not gonna spread very fast.
The gays were I hated the way that they handled that though, Because first they were really pushing the like monkeypox is not a gay thing. But then as soon as, we got the word that monkeypox was stopping, like basically the spread had been slowed significantly, you saw a bunch of gay people putting, we band together as a community and we stopped monkeypox. And it's like, we're either responsible or we're not.
Right.
Well, I think initially it was being called a gay thing because it was initially spread at like a gay event. Right?
And we spread things faster because the amount of sex we have, like it's just, like I said, it's a double-edged sword with like what I said with the Grindr story.
Right.
There's the great part of it that, you get laid right away. But also, if there's something like monkeypox, it's going to spread like crazy because everybody's fucking.
Yeah, and listen, we're not at all suggesting that every gay person is some like horny teenager that's out here fucking her. It's monogamous gay people all over the place. But if you're out there, if you're gay and you're fucking. Mm-hmm. You're out here fucking. You know what I mean? It's like if you meet a gay person that goes, if you meet a gay man and you go, and they're single, and you go, well, how many times a week are you having sex? And they go, oh, just like once a month. You're like, no, you're not. You a goddamn lie. You're only as loyal as your options.
Yep.
People that are fucking once a month are people that can only fuck once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You fuck as much as you possibly can. Right?
Yeah.
As much as you can stand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just barely starting to slow down, and it's just because I don't feel it as much because I'm getting older. That part I'm feeling of my age where I'm just like, I don't really want to fuck that.
Yeah, but you just in time. Like pretty soon, like as soon as we figure out how to fuck these chatbots, it's a wrap. We're gonna just masturbate our way into extinction.
We're all gonna be fucking Eliza.
Yeah, as soon as this chatbot, rears you up. All right, that's a good stopping point. Thanks for being our guest, Ty. Appreciate
Thank you
man.
for having me.
Throw out your socials and anywhere people can follow you, and you have a podcast as well.
Oh, yeah, my podcast, you can just find it by searching Thai Rivera on YouTube. And Instagram, that's something I'm active on, so @official Thai Rivera on Instagram. Outside of that, just, Google my name. Any way you spell it, it'll work. It's THAI Rivera, though, but however you do it, Google will spit it back.
And I am BS Comedian on all socials. I will be, my next gig, actually this weekend, I'll be at the Comedy Zone in Greensboro. And in 2 weeks, May 4th, 5th, and 6th, I'll be at the Milwaukee Improv in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can get tickets for that at BrianSimpsonComedy.com. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want us to answer your email, just email us at BSwithBrianSimpson@gmail.com. Or you can leave us a voicemail at 323-451-1980. Again, that's 323-451-1980. You can leave us a voicemail there. Or if you don't have access to American, like if you can't call long distance, you're out of the country, you can just make an audio note and email it to us at BSwithBrianSimpson@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the Comedy Frequency. Don't forget to check out the Josh Potter Show. Don't forget to check out Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone and Kevin Tinkin. And if you want to support the show, please, share it, like it, subscribe it, or buy something from one of these sponsors. That's how if you want to support the show, you can do any of those things, and I ain't mad at you. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. Have a good one.